mentioned about the B2B side, so I think I'll come in from that angle because that is something I would like to add my bit to. And my bit will be directly some sort of a practical advice, which if the B2B guys are listening to me, they can actually go back and start implementing it immediately. Any B2B brand, if they want to get into the space, the sales cycle we know is very long, and I think no other person in the entire panel but Anil can talk about it because his 22 years is in sales. So so the sales cycles are very very long, and in B2B, even though you have a marketing channel of lead gen, but at the end of the day it is the relationship which leads to the closure, because the competition is fierce. Everybody knows everybody in a space of B2B. You will not find 10,000 brands. Like, it's not a toothpaste brand where there is like a 10,000 brand and you're fighting. No, in B2B space there are like top 10 brands, 5 brands max to max, and they're like fighting among each other. So each one of the player knows one another, and the clients also have met everyone. What really plays an important role is what's the recognition of that particular person in the market. So my sharing here is in terms of the practical advice that which we have been doing as a company with other brands, and everyone who's watching can just go ahead and do. So if you are a B2B brand, take 3 people from your company who are already on LinkedIn, world's #1 professional networking platform, where more than 80% of B2B leads are getting generated. It's not something I'm saying, it's a fact that has been announced by LinkedIn themselves. More than 80% of the leads for B2B comes from LinkedIn. Guys, you don't want to miss out on this platform. So take 3 guys, if possible 3 of them from the leadership team. If not, then at least from L1 and L2, a combination of 3 people, and get their profile maximum leverage on LinkedIn on relationship building, networking with right people. Please don't go out on that numbers of having connections like 30,000, 500,000, 50,000, and that number doesn't matter unless of course I'm not talking about people like Gary Vee and all, because they are really huge influencers in their own space, but I'm talking about people in B2B segment. For you, numbers doesn't play any role unless you have founders. If you are connected with 25,000 founders across a particular country, phenomenal, man, means you know every single big guy in the country automatically. So that's what the number matter is. It's not about how many connections you have. What matters is how many people in the industry knows you, and that's what LinkedIn does for you. Before you go in a meeting, the other day Anil was telling me his own story. I met someone yesterday and I was shocked. Trust me, this just happened. Anil was telling me he went for a meeting and the guy said, "Oh, hi Anil, I know you." And Anil was like, "Really? Okay, I don't know you." And he said, "I saw you on LinkedIn." And Anil was there for a sales pitch. So just imagine if he's pitching and the client already knows him, he got a first jump done, clear, green light, signal is there. So guys, if you are in the B2B segment, take 3 of your top guys, get them on LinkedIn, get them to engage with the right strategy, and your engagement has to be right strategy. So if you have time, experiment, do trial and error, and give efforts to the platform with the help of your team. If you don't have time, then hire experts for yourself to fast track your journey, to just make sure that you get to the point you want your company to get to. And guys, I'm just putting in a shameless plug here, or whatever you want to say, but we are really here to help. So Beyond 99, which is my company, and Anil is one of the leadership members of our team. He's the CGO. So we have come up with a product which is Salt and Pepper, where we are trying to help businesses, exactly the B2B businesses, to go out and humanize their brand with people branding, and that's what is personal branding. But it cannot be called personal branding because it's not about the individual alone, it's the tag, it's the brand that they carry. Because if I talk about technically, LinkedIn gives 1 to 2% leverage on your feed to any corporate page or any company page, but it comes from an individual. You get 100% reach if you go and you are able to connect with your audiences. Plus, guys, there has been a super study where I came across, PwC had shared 553% of the people believe a content when it comes from an employee or a people associated with the brand than the brand themselves. So if at all, Shaili, you will push out and you will talk about Oak and you will say, oh, I had an amazing experience and I'm so glad Oak had get me as a moderator and this was my first time experience. I'm so happy to work with a company like this. Immediately, NPS, which is the Net Promoter Score in technical language, but it is like you become the advocate of your brand. The employer branding for Oak goes up. Anybody who will be looking for a job, they'll be like, oh wow, the employees are happy, I can go and try and get my interview there. So this is the whole purpose. And the salt and pepper which I mentioned, you see the salt right on the top for me, here he is. And yeah, for me he's here. I'm not too sure if the visuals are different for everyone here. And I'm the pepper here. Salt comes from white and he's the white hair guy who has hidden all his white hairs. Yeah. I know all his white hairs and I'm the pepper. So guys, yes, exactly. But if you have time, go and experiment yourself. See how you can get that leverage on the platform.
Yeah, for sure. That's really insightful, Khushbu. I think we're gonna take that from you, particularly since you were the most excited to talk about B2B and this sector. So I think that's a lot of advice coming from you. Anandji, you wanna add something?
Yeah, I just want to kind of put a question to my co-panelists. I'm not sure that we can ask this to our audience, of course. Tell me, when we all are in marketing, we all have done sales inherently. So when any company does some big funding announcement or gets a new product, or we have hired new guys, what do we do in the media? We go out and do in the media. What do we do that? What activity we do? Yes, yeah.
Yeah, you do your advertising and you do your PR.
Perfect. PR.
Yeah.
So with this, PR is the right word. So how do I relate personal branding? I relate personal branding to PR. And this PR is not for the brand. This PR is for the individual. And rightly or aptly put by Kush, today brands are selling to each other, but what we all are spoken together as team, saying that it's human to human connection. And with this today's VUCA world, which everybody knows, so much volatility, uncertainty, complexity and ambiguity, change is the only constant which is going to be there, permanent. Okay. And if you're not able to adapt to this change, if you're not able to go out there in the world, which could be offline world or in the online world, go and voice yourself, voice your opinions in groups, in communities, in the online world. We will not be received or we will not be highlighted. And that's the most important thing. So, like the way we have PR for brands, personal branding is for individuals. And I completely believe what all the three co-panelists said that.
Right. That's absolutely well summarized. I would say you summarize it for all the three. And for sure, it's a wonderful takeaway for us. Yeah, I think that's about it for now. I am going to leave the floor open for any questions to come in.